All right, so here we go with the latest cynically speaking episode where I'm doing my best Unabomber impression. Just kidding. That guy was fucking crazy, crazy smart, but fucking crazy nonetheless. Anyway, it's been a minute, so I've done this, simply because I was sick there for like 2 weeks, and then user error. Really effed up the audio in some way, and I tried recording like 3 different streams, and I couldn't get shit to fucking work. So, you know, it's working now. Cool. That said, I'm gonna touch base on things I'd mentioned in, um, a stream prior that I ended up deleting because the audio, was clumped. Um, so, first thing, yeah, cannabis review. Speaking of just a a little smoky. So, yeah, not into the microphone. Alright, learned response. See my cat, the little kitty in the background. If she starts going speaking of which, she starts going wild, I have to stop. She's very needy, lovely cat, but yeah, very needy. Done nap. She wants to play, she wants attention, so, yeah. So I've gotta, get off because otherwise she'll just start having shit. Anyway, um, so that said, anyway, so, smoking, what I a while back was, the C4 brand indica-hybrid called Bubba Fett, if for no other reason, right? Buy it because of the Star Wars. Um, but, another good reason is because it was 30.2, some bullshit like that, but, yes, I know terpenes, don't come at me, fuck off. But, yeah, the terpenes are good too, but nevertheless, it's pretty good on myrcene, linalool, which are the things I like. That's gonna create a nice body high, but it's not, too terribly strong on the indica side, because, it's not in the couch. I'm not, wanting to go lay down afterwards. It's actually relatively a nice body high, just kinda cruise right into it. Um, and one of the things I'd mentioned previously is that what I like to do, and this will maybe do some good for all those people out there that say, "Yeah, I've tried it, I just cannot get high off it." All right, well, maybe you're doing it wrong. Hear me out. So what I like to do is I like to smoke fat, get good and primed, right? Get a nice buzz going, um, and then give it a minute, right? Let that nice flower buzz start to peak. Feel that it's kinda peaked. I'm feeling nice and jolly. I'll go ahead and eat, how many edibles I eat. I usually start off with anywhere from 20 to 30 milligrams, to start with. That's just me with my tolerance. Um, my 2 most favorite brands right now, are High Five brand. That may be a regional thing, but then Wild, which, I had out that, when I worked at a Shango dispensary out there for a minute. Um, that's right. I picked up on those are fantastic. If you can get Wild and you can get them for less than $20 for a 100 milligram package, that's not a bad deal. And I'm talking like prices all across the country. They're generally at least 18, oftentimes 20 plus. They're just that good. But if you want to buy in a higher level, I've been buying the 300 plus milligram packages and getting them for 40. So you're really getting a pretty good discount if you divide it by the milligram package. You know what I mean? Because you're getting kind of basically three, right? A 300 plus milligram package. I say 300 plus because at minimum they're supposed to be 300, which generally falls in that 295 category. But once one man, you catch them at like 323, 330. Hey, more bang for the buck. Get that high percentage. Why not? So anyway, what I like to do, get that nice flour and get a good peak on that. Then I'll go ahead and eat my edibles because I know that about the time of coming down off that flour high, right? That's about the time the edible high will start to kick in. So they don't cancel each other out. You'll just flow from one into the other. And I'm telling you, it's great. you know, it's not a bad way to start your day, particularly if you got some sativa. Maybe some sativa flower. Go out, detail your car, shit like that, whatever. Or if it's just a Netflix and chill day or even evening, you know, personally, I would never go with the indica edibles. Those just knock me out. I could bet they might be giving me Ambien or some shit. They just knock me out. But hybrid, you know, I can do a, an indica hybrid or a hybrid, ease my way into a hybrid gummy, you know. But if I'm being honest, who the fuck am I kidding? And if you put it in front of me, I'm probably gonna fucking do it. So if I could be smoking an indica hybrid, use flower, and like, oh, all sativa gummies. Well, guess what? I'm sativa gummies. I'm not that fucking picky. Um, I'm unable to connect to chat here. It looks like for some reason. I do not know why. But nevertheless, so that's what I like to do, and it works really well. And I used to tell people that when I was out there in Nevada, because they were like, "Yeah, edibles, you know, they've been doing it for me." And I swear, man, I would tell people, you know, to try them that way, right? Because usually what happens, every person I've ever met anyway, not saying it's the case with everyone, but everyone I've personally spoken to that say, "I can't get high off edibles," to the person, they take the edibles, they get impatient, they wanna get high now, you can blame them, and so they go ahead and fucking smoke. Wait around longer, they're still not off the edibles, so they keep smoking. Next thing you know, it's just like, fuck, I'll eat the whole package. They're still not fucking high, they keep smoking. Well, as crazy as it sounds, the flower will cancel out the edible high. The flower high will cancel out the edible high. We all know, we've done both, that they are 2 distinctly different kind of highs, right? You know you're high on weed, but it's a different kinda high, right? The edibles are just more overall body high, head, head high like you will with some flowers. Yeah, it's just an overall different feeling. It's definitely stronger with the edibles. Once you start to peak on those, I mean, I can smoke a couple joints in a row. I don't, but I could, and I could drive this back. And, you know, just saying, I mean, wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put 2 beers and drive to the store. You know, I'm just saying on weed, you maintain enough to drive up the street to the store and back. But if same thing with edibles, I cannot say. You know, there comes a point where edibles do not leave anywhere. I'm not getting in my fucking car no matter what because my eye-hand coordination is completely fucked, and I know that. I mean, you get to a point where on edibles, where you actually could be staggering. But never ever been that way on flower. It's just a different high. Um, but that said, so yeah, you do that little everybody talk to almost to the person. Yeah, they just get impatient and they smoke. So that's conversely, you find yourself you're too fucked up on edibles. This sounds really like a pot. Take a few puffs. The flower high will counteract the edible high, and you'll maybe not come down technically, the flower high will counteract the edible high, and therefore you will be on a plane you're most comfortable with, if that makes sense. So yeah, it works. So, you know, I'm sure there will be outliers out there that won't work for. It's worked for me, and I don't know how many different people that I made that suggestion to is about 10 year, and they come back in a week or so and they're like, "Holy shit, you weren't lying. It's great." Again. So just saying, give it a shot. But yeah, the C4 Bubba Fett, highly recommend it. And the wild gummies and the high fives, honestly, the high fives are actually a little more pricier than the wilds, which is weird because wilds I've always found to be the priciest for the most and worth it. But the high fives are a little pricey. Um, I can usually get a package of 500 milligram of high fives for 60. So, well, you know, just over 10 bucks. What was it? $12, I guess, per 100 times 5. But that 500 package always comes at like 550. So you're in essence getting, you know, considerably more in that particular package. So if you can find them, knock yourself out. That's in one. It's in one flavor. There's another flavor, 500. instead come in at probably 90, 485 sometimes. So it just depends on but either way, they're good. Really good. They hit well. It's level high. Don't take too long to come on. So yeah, not much of a segue. But hey, speaking of the Super Bowl, Chiefs homer. Sucks they lost. They'll be back next year. I'm not talking about it. Happy for the fucking Eagles. I mean, Saquon Barkley, you gotta love that guy. Jalen Hurts, phenomenal player. Not a big fan of Sirianni, but hey, he's Super Bowl winning coach. Can't really knock him. I mean, you got to give him credit where credit's due. But crying out loud, thank goodness, honestly, now it's done and it's over. Chiefs had to lose. I mean, why not? I mean, thank goodness it was in the Super Bowl. To shut all these fucking flat earthing conspiracy theorist referee, know, favoring these fucking people. I mean, finally shut them the fuck up. Like, what are you gonna say now? Nothing. Notice all that shit stopped abruptly after the Super Bowl's over and the Chiefs lost. Can't find nary a video about or a short or any reel, nothing. And in the media, they shut the fuck up about it 'cause all of a sudden, those are worthless clicks and views. The only people I will say I did see a couple, but they were truly the off the fucking deep end nut jobs that have no other content to harp on. But, I know they lost, but bullshit. So, anyway, the game's not rigged, okay? Too much money. It's not fucking rigged. Thank goodness. I think we all learned our lesson there. At least you'd like to hope, but then again, voted for Trump twice. But yeah, so, Chiefs lost. They'll be back next year. Maybe maybe he doesn't. Um, I'm happy for the dude no matter what he does. I do feel like he's lost a little bit. I hate to say that because, I mean, he's doing shit I could never do, but I do feel like he's lost a little bit. Who knows, man? He still play better than I ever could, so, um oh, wow, yeah, the weed's kicking in. So, anyhow, I put in the description I was gonna go in on the MAGA crap. Honestly, it's like, there's nothing specific I saw today. Yeah, I wanna say something. That on YouTube or anywhere else for that matter where I feel what the fuck was that? Because every day is a what the fuck was that if you look hard enough. So, yeah, I really don't have anything terrible to have too terribly to say about the MAGA, you know, peeps. I mean, you get to a point where you're just picking on the kids in the short bus, and, when you realize they're less about being committed and more about just they're just too fucking stupid. Realize they're fucking stupid. Ergo, they keep voting against their own interests and shit. Whatever, man. I mean, hot take, but for the moment, I'll sit here I'll sit here with the white privilege, just fucking not relax in it, but just, you basically be able to sit back and watch for a moment. Thankfully, I'm not, a person of color where I have a lot of things I'm probably very concerned with at this point, deportations, things of that nature. I mean, stuff I don't have and that's not to say, "Oh, well, I won't do anything about it," 'cause, you know, uh, World War II, German, I guess it would be called a meme now, it wasn't back then, but, in regards to, they came after the Jews, that whole thing. I don't remember it all, so I don't wanna fuck it up too much, but anybody's listening would listen to this, what I'm talking about. No, it's not that, or maybe it is even a little. I mean, there's absolutely from my personal standing where I am, as I know there's a nice saying about one person can change the world. Maybe, but it ain't me, I fucking listen. I mean, fuck, I've had The only jobs I've ever had where people listen to me are the ones where I'm the boss of the job because I fucking it's my other than that, working for other people and shit, ain't nobody listen. I mean, I just don't come across that way, I guess, but so I'm not gonna try to sit here and speak into a fucking YouTube live video and try to solve the world's ills. We all know it's fucked up. Humanity's kind of lost its way, you know, or maybe humanity's always been like this, and we just because of the internet and technology and what, you know? I mean, kinda like the analogy of, "Oh, crime is worse." Mm, actually, statistically, it's not, but because of technology and media and social media and the ease, of access to all that information, we think crime is up because that's what gets clicks and views, so that's all we hear about, right? And in reality, if you just go with the stats and stats do not lie, at least, is it up in some places? I'm sure, or across the country, majority, crime is down. But nevertheless, you know, people live, by most people live by anecdotal evidence as opposed to statistics, statistical evidence, ergo scientific evidence, uh, and that's unfortunate because what that also means is that, when confronted with statistical scientific evidence that refutes their anecdotal, they'll 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 pull an RFK, right? And want to question, in spite of thousands of studies by any given, vaccine, he'll want to step back like, "Yeah, but have we really studied enough? These quack doctors over here that actually say a bunch of crazy shit, even though they lost a medical license that I agree with, have they done the studies?" It's like, for fuck's sake, man. I mean, at some point, we all have to agree that science is real. If we can't even agree on that, or statistics don't lie, we can't agree on that, what the fuck we got, you know? Everybody's anecdotal evidence is gonna be different. I don't personally listen to what so and so heard about their cousin's brother, sister's aunt. I don't give a flying fuck, You lost me at, "It wasn't you," right? Unless it was your kid, something that you personally witnessed. But, yeah, I mean, once you start diving in and delving into this, such and such, I heard it from someone, and where at? Or like some of these Kepler videos where he's interviewing people at campaign rallies, where's the campaign rallies, and he starts to just, they believe a certain thing, and he questions like oh, the one just I distinctly remember was where, he was questioning them on their belief in late term abortions, meaning after birth abortion, meaning the baby's born and then they kill it and still call it abortion. And a couple was like, "That doesn't happen because that's called murder." Exactly. Abortion is murder. No, 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 no. That doesn't happen. Well, I read it and blah, okay, well, where I don't know, somewhere on the internet, and you just wanna and yes, they you wonder what they look like? They look exactly like you would think they do. They look exactly like your grandparents, and for those of us of a certain age, they look like our parents or grandparents that were getting on the internet 10, 20 years ago, and you had to tell them, because they're showing how to use a computer and shit, you had to explain to them that, "Alright, if something pops up, don't click on that," and maybe even before that, it was like, in the 90s, especially when pop-ups were real bad, and it was always like, "Hey, we can fix your computer. We've detected something," that kind of bullshit, you know? Who among us at a certain age hasn't had a parent or grandparent that's fucking out the computer and get it hacked and have a virus put on it because they're going places they shouldn't go 'cause they don't fucking know because they believe everything on the internet is truthful, right? Well, that generation grew up, and the ones behind them grew up, and nobody ever explained to them that they forgot, but I think it's explained to them that, "Hey, dumbass, you can believe everything you see on the internet, right? I can sit here and just spew bullshit after bullshit. It's my right to do so. Free speech, motherfucker." Gotta love it, right? Nothing wrong with that. I love free speech. Say whatever you want. Then the responsibility comes back on us as the audience, right? On these platforms, witnessing these discussions to say, "Whoa, time out. That's some bullshit." Like like you're crazy, you know? I mean, that shit ain't real. Where the fuck you get this? Rebar. Motherfucker, it don't take much to look up Rebar and the Epic Times and shit like that. Just propaganda, pretty especially the Epic Times, but well, Breitbart as well, but the Epic Times specifically about Christian nationalism shit. And it's just, come on, has common sense gone? I mean, just is it extinct? Is it fucking gone? You know? It's shit like this, that you read, you see about, and you'll listen to people talking a certain way, and I'll be honest, I'm self-aware enough to understand that there's gonna be MAGA people, but if you dial in and start watching this, they would be getting mad or they would maybe, uh, say the same thing about me. I'm full of shit and blah, 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 right? I get it. Fair. Completely fair. Except for the fact that I'm on the side of stats and science, but it's completely fair that I would piss you off and say I'm full of shit if you want. That's kinda would go into my point, right? I'm not making shit up. If I was to make shit up, I would say I'm making shit up. Um, but what I try to rely on, is either I saw somebody say this, somebody with a big Trump T-shirt on, and I'm just reading what they said, or I read some statistics or science, what have you. I'm big on that, or I'll just simply say I don't fucking know. In my opinion, you know, not that anybody's once again, nobody's listening. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Nobody gives a fucking shit, right? And you realize, well, it's on the internet, it's on there forever. Yeah, sure. That's why you have to be careful, and I guess you don't really have to be careful. It's really more about like if you're kind of a dick and you're prone to say some really fucked up shit about people, the internet is probably not a place you want to be talking in. Just saying. You could slip. You could say some fucked up repugnant shit, and then it's on the internet, right? It's forever. Delete the video all you want. Somebody probably already saved it. So for me, I don't really worry about it too much. That's why I don't. I just come up with bullshit because I think it's fun. You leave something for other people, the few that do to enjoy. Maybe when I'm not here. Hopefully that'll be a fun time. Um, but just saying. I just do it for the fuck of it. That I like. I like making fun. Uh, Not that I'm the brightest motherfucker in the box. I'm not the brightest bulb in the box. But I ain't dumb enough to vote against my own fucking interests. But I think I knew I was going with some earlier shit, and I got sidetracked. Said I was so hard on because making fun of kids in the short bus. But once you get started, it's like God. There's just so much to fucking jaw about, right? Where do you cut it off? I don't know. But yeah, so it's. I think we all have to be mindful and respectful of others. And I guess right. That's hence that's where trolls don't that way come from. It's when you're on the internet, you can say whatever the fuck you want. You're the biggest in the world. What's funny is shit. I was having a conversation the other day, and it was just too high or whatever. But I thought it was really funny to create a TikTok channel or a reel or just something, or even YouTube short. And yeah, that sometimes background's my ear, and it's negative degrees outside, so I'm not turning it off to make a video. Like I said, I'm just doing it for fun. Like I got sponsors to worry about. So I was having this conversation, and I was baked and just goofing, and I had this brilliant idea what I thought, right, was a brilliant it's just as far as being funny, I just thought it was fucking hilarious, we laughed and laughed. It was, "Hey, I should, like, start a TikTok channel, real just something dedicated to asking for money, and do it in a really fucked up way, like, apologies, no nothing, you know, basically very similar to the South Park go fuck yourself episode, the go fund yourself episode, um, where they're just asking for money to fund their bro down lifestyle. That's all I'm saying, I'm just like, "Give me money so I can chill." That's it, you know? That's really it, I'm being dead serious. So if somebody wanted to just send me money, if I had, like, a PayPal, a Patreon, all that shit on this channel, and somebody wanna just send me money so I can keep doing shit like this so I could, like, chill because honestly, that's what I'm telling you I'm doing. I'm not doing nothing touristic with it. I may not even make any more content per se, except get on once a day and be like, "Hey, man, give me some fucking cash." You know? You got plenty. You can spare a buck, 2 bucks, 5 bucks. If enough of you do it, man, I can kick it, and I'm really good at kicking, right? Like, maybe y'all can't not because you have responsibilities. I don't have that many, if any, at this point, except a cat. So, you know, if y'all just send me some fucking cash, fucking, kick back, hang out with my cat, enjoy life, it's kinda one of those went out for you, as it were, you know? Live vicariously through me, if you will. If that's the value you need out of it, that's the value. Otherwise, yeah, send me some fucking money. We got some more kicking to do, just chilling out and shit. But anyway, we were having that conversation, and we both just thought it would be hilarious to do that. I was like, "Huh, I wonder if other people have done that before," right? And it's a fucking thing, like, it's like, I didn't even know that. I had to Google it, and it was like, yeah, cyber begging and shit. There's even a website for it. So multiple platforms for that. There's like one that's either Craigslist related or affiliated, or maybe it's just a knockoff, but it's something along those lines, and I was blown away. I had no fucking idea, right? There was places like that out there. I think, for people that truly need it, you know, well, I'm glad they're there. I mean, I don't always give to the people on the corner. I have my own thoughts about that, that may or may not align with everyone's, but yeah, so I didn't know they even had shit like that. And it was at that point, though, I gotta be honest, as funny as I thought it was, I mean, we just died laughing, man. We thought nobody thought of that, right? Nobody does that. It would just be such in your face kinda, "Hey, give me money," kind of thing to do. After finding out that, no, that's a thing on there. Probably I have to assume that, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of hustlers on there, but there's gotta be some legit needy people on there too, I would imagine. Like, why wouldn't you put your name out, if you're legit? Um, and then that got me to thinking, you know, think light. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of other people that could use that fucking $1, $2 they can't work for it. So, yeah, maybe it's not so funny after all. In the moment, it was fucking hilarious. I mean, until I realized, "Oh, shit, people actually do that." That's a thing. Then kinda it got real, you know what I mean? More. Yeah, yeah, whatever. When I think about it, it's still kinda funny. But yeah, so my thoughts on, I mentioned I have my own thoughts, and that's simply, you see so much of it now, so you pick your spot. I ain't gonna lie, I see some that's like, I ain't begrudging them, be wearing clothes and shit, but, like, I've given money, I used to keep, there's so much of it, I've never seen as much homelessness as I did and it just blew me away because I came from, Matt there, and it just wasn't a bigger problem, where I, before that, so I went out there and it was just like, fuck, I mean, the local gas station was just almost a crowd of homeless people all the time. It was weird, I've never seen that. And I only say that, like, it didn't bother me or anything, it just made me want, so I started a Ziploc baggie with change in it and shit, and that's where I'd throw my change and when I accumulate enough that wasn't too insulting, 5, $6, I'd give it to somebody. I remember one time there was this and I don't usually talk about whether I give anything or don't give anything. I hate it when people do those fucking videos, you know? "Let me do a video of me being generous or me being charitable." Man, fuck you. Shove the video up your ass. If you can't fucking do it, nobody's looking, then go fuck yourself. Seriously. Um, so with that in mind, I'm not even gonna tell this. Uh, but what I will say is that for those of you that are, like, straight up, "I don't give to people ever," 'cause fuck 'em, I bet they're not even homeless. They're just lying. Shut up. I get it, you know? I mean, I'm human. I have pretty motherfucker, so, you know, trust me, I've had those thoughts myself, you know, on an individual basis. When I see people, I judge. You shouldn't. I should. Nobody should, but I have, do. Um, so what I try to lean towards, though, is that that's not my default. I'm talking about those, among us that that's their default. That's not my default. My default is this person could be standing on the street corner asking for something if they didn't really need it. That's my perspective, and that's all I know, right, is my own personal perspective, is that I can't imagine the depths, the low I would have to be in to put myself out there on that corner like that. I just you know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm above it, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, I'm just saying that I barely imagine what depth of low I would have to be at, desperate to do so when I see people like that, I just assume, like, well, like, they must need it. And then you start looking a little harder and, you know, because I have or only to one time I actually had a cop, like, down a nice part of town and police patrol around on foot, and, she saw I was digging in my wallet to get to what I thought was a homeless person, and this officer was like, "No, no, no, get the hell out of here," and told me, "Don't do that." Seemingly homeless person left. I say seemingly because it turns out they weren't. She explained, like, "No, I know exactly who that is. They pretend to be homeless. They actually park on the street that they drive. No, he's put 2 of his kids through college." I was like, "Get the fuck outta here, you're making that up." She's like, "I'm not making that up. That's why I run him off because he don't need me." She's like, "I know the ones that need, I don't run them off, but ones like him, I run them off." I'm like, "Oh, alright." You know, there's a certain degree or reason to have that cynicism about the whole, situation, about those, but they have to be case by case. Your default, I don't feel like should be, "Fuck them all, they're all lying," 'cause they're not. You know, that's just not the case. So anyway, this is a big long roundabout me saying, my default is not, "Fucking they're lying." My default is I assume there you go. You are therefore if I see someone that I think is I don't do shit, then shame on me. If I hand them something, trying to help them in some way, and it turns out they're lying and they're full of shit, they're just hustling, then shame on them. But as long as I act, my conscience is clear. I sleep fine at night. And at the end of the day, small price to pay to sleep well, you know? I mean, "Yo, what'd you have to do to sleep well tonight?" "Ah, fuck, I had to help another human." God, yeah? I mean, can you imagine? And this isn't like going around telling people and talk about it. It's that it's when you go to bed at night, you did that. Nobody else needs nobody else needed to be around. You don't need to film it, you know? Just knowing that, you took the time to do that, and understood, man. I do it every fucking time. Like, no goddamn definitely not that altruistic. You know, I'm as much in survival mode as anyone else, you know? I'm probably have it a lot better than a lot of people. So, I'm not judging, you know, anybody's frequency, my own or others, I would of when they not give it, or even if they give at all. You know, I think it's more about totally understand nobody's got money to give. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at the tip. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a whole nother subject matter, being homeless, but a lot would be if you didn't, but anyway, how that slipped through. Uh, yeah, my thing is more don't necessarily give, but understand that they're not standing there, the majority of them, because they're hustling. The majority, it takes a lot of humility to put yourself, and then the people doing it that don't need to be doing it, that can take it, or this is what they do for a living, they live just fine, and they fake the use it as a hustle. Hey, I mean, those people exist, we know they're there, but, you know, only one of those things, only one of those have adverse effect on and that's the one where you let the hustlers, right, deciding with, and this is where, as cynical as I be advocate for the underdog, if I see people that need help, I hate to vote against them right away, I try to do something, at least think about it, you know? I just don't understand the mentality of, "Fuck those people." Damn, or getting angry about the shit, you know? Yeah, the way people do about, "They took our jobs," the immigrants. However, if you ain't been down, like, to the southern border, it's kinda fucked up. I mean, Arizona, Texas, and shit, like, some fucked up shit goes on, with all that, with the cartels and all that shit. I mean, I'm not a complete bleeding heart liberal. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they could take Italian fucking Marines and some gunships and go down there and wipe the cartel out if they fucking could, along with a bunch of special ops guys, and, what's Mexico gonna do about it? Nothing. Fuck all, I mean, it's true. I mean, it really is, and I know there'd be, I mean, how you can do that, I don't think really, well, you obviously couldn't. It's a war country, I get that, but even if your reasons are because of the cartel, but good lord, if you your own people down there to do that, you have to strip them of dog tags, fucking names, because God help if those fucking cartel fuckers found out who you were. Those some dangerous hombres, man. I mean, they find out who you are, they're fucking looking for family shit. That's crazy shit. So yeah, who knows? I mean, who knows what they'll do with that? But you know, by any stretch of the fucking imagination. But I mean, I'm not about taking over Mexico or nothing either. But it'd be nice if we could stop the steady stream of cartel bullshit coming across the border. I mean, maybe you don't even have to do as much as going crossing the border, potentially violating NATO and maybe it's enough to take a battalion, whatever it is. I don't know the fucking number, but you said of building a wall, right? Which difficult that can be and costly, you know. Stack a just fucking build a gate shack, a guard shack, a tower every, you know, 50 foot high, maybe, 30 foot. I don't fucking engineer. Do a guard shack, do a tower like that every 8 mile or something, quarter mile, whatever it figures out you can be. But you have to be able to see. Otherwise, you're too far apart. The reaction time would be such where people just through it. So you have to be close enough that you can see the other one, right? And then in between that, you've got, a fucking platoon of Marines, or Army, whatever. I just say Marines because I think Marines have yeah, Texas, fucking what, National Guard, wherever the fuck, I don't know. And it just becomes a permanent thing. This is what you do. you know? Sucks that it's gotten to that. This is just what you do. And you do that. And then maybe every so many miles, you have a small, makeshift air base where you have Apache gunships and shit roaring out or fucking, uh, A-10s, where you're not coming across the fucking border. Smuggling people, we're going to get that. If you come across the drugs, even remotely try to fire across the border, you stay on the other side, want to shoot into it, want to blink, show us some type of strength. We'll just send that. That's when we will like to defend ourselves. Send the A-10 across the border. Do what we got to do for the Apache. Just saying. That's a show of strength that I, as a liberal Democrat, could get, especially for the reasons. But I ain't about taking over the fucking sovereign country. That's fucking crazy. We're not Russia, right? We're not just walking over and taking over, but we have to defend the line to the point where the drug situation is out of control. So but I don't live down there, so I just wanted to ask. Those are all just fucking opinions based on my limited. So anyway, well, I'm baked enough, and I think I've expounded on world politics enough this evening. So that said, I bid everyone adieu.